There is a lot that's happened over the last 25 years. The gender wars have come and gone. The fight for equality has ended. And what's taken its place is this concept of women berating other women. Over the last several months, what seems to have happened is if you are childless by choice, you're obviously not living your best life, because children are such a gift. They're the greatest gift we'll ever have. And I sit there and I go, how dare you be childless by choice? Because your life isn't fulfilled if you don't have a child. Problem is, the argument is wrong, and it's so much deeper than that. See, parents don't live their best life. Now, they can come up in the comments and go, yes, we do, we live our best life. No, we don't. Children are a great gift. Yeah, they are a gift, they're great. But as a parent, as a mother, you do not live your best life. And you can sit there and you can sit and go, oh, but we do, it's a great life, blah, blah, blah. No, you can be the greatest parent in the planet and still not have your best life. Because the minute you have a child, what happens? Your entire life becomes theirs. Nothing you do, nothing you say, nothing you think, nothing you feel is yours. It's theirs. It belongs solely to your child. I mean, I love my son dearly. I would never, ever change what happened 21 years ago. Getting pregnant was an accident, and my son knows it. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't. And it made me rethink my life, and it put my life on a much different path. But the reality of it is, my life isn't mine. Is it better? No. Is it different? Yes. Is it mine? No. Can I do whatever I want? Absolutely not. Am I free to live my life the way I want to live it? No. No, I'm not. I can't do whatever I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and why I want to do it, with who I want to do it. No, I can't. My life does not belong to me. It's not mine. It belongs to him. And it'll always belong to him. Every decision I make has to have his involvement into it. Because if it doesn't happen. It's just that simple. When we become parents, every single thing we do, think, feel, and every has to be run by them. From the minute they're born, our entire life revolves around that person. From that little tiny bundle to them growing up, everything we do revolves around them. We can do nothing until we run it past and by them, even as newborns, because we have to make sure that even as newborns, we can accommodate them. We have to. It's not our best life. Our life is over. It belongs solely to them, because up here, that's all we are. It is all we are. It's all we have. It's all we think about 24/7. Quite literally 24/7. It's all up here. They are the only thing that we have. Because everything we do revolves around them. What we think, what we feel, what we do, what we say, everything that we have in life has to accommodate and revolve around that person. And no, it is not our life. It does not belong to us. Women who choose to be childless live the most amazing lives. Even if they have their own problems, their own issues, their own whatevers that they've got going on, they still live a better life than parents. And it's true, because parents don't live their own lives. They live their child's lives. Now, I do not like babies. I really hate the baby phase. I could never have more than one child because I don't do babies. Now, I've helped my sisters. I helped my younger sister with hers, with my nephew. I helped raise him for about 3 or 4 years. I think it was almost 4 the last time I actually spent like almost a week, like actively, like 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, looking after him. Right up until almost his 4th birthday, when I was far too sick to actually be able to keep doing it. And then she got pissy with me. But I don't like babies. Babies really get to me. They are really cute when they're asleep. Super cute when they're asleep. But you are hindered when they're a baby. Babies require a lot more attention than children do. Children, you can accommodate children. Children you can talk to. Children you can actually communicate with. But babies and toddlers, they really, really do annoy the hell out of me. I don't like them. They're cute when they're sleeping, but when they're not, they're just annoying. On top of all that, I hate the nappies and the toilet training. It's just horrible. It makes me feel sick. I spend a lot of time doing nappies and toilet training, trying not to throw up. I did it with my son. I spent half my time trying not to be sick. And I did it with my nephew. And I did it with my youngest sister. And my other sisters when we were all growing up. I helped raise, me and my elder sister sort of helped raise my 3 younger sisters. And when my son was born, I was also helping my mum with my youngest sister. And I spent a lot of time trying not to throw up. I do not like babies. And I do not like nappies. And I do not like the toilet training phase. It's horrible, it's vile, and I hate it all. And I could never, ever, ever have another one. It would be horrible, vile, and vicious. No. Absolutely not. Don't want it. Not again. No. It's not what I am. I'm not that kind of mother. I love babies asleep, and when there's somebody else's and I can just hand them over. You smell, go back to your mother. I can do that. Yeah, you smell, go back to your mother. Yeah, you go and do that. Yeah, I'm not doing you. No. But children, I like. I like children. Children you can talk to. Children you can have a bit of fun with. I do not do babies. But at the end of the day, regardless of how old your child is, your life isn't yours, because no matter how old they are, if you are a mother of a neurotypical, until they turn 18, your life belongs to them. Even if you manage to have date nights with your husband or your partner, or you get babysitters in, they go to their grandmothers or whoever, you get weekends away, or you go to spa nights, you do this, you do that. The only thing you've got going on up here is, I hope my kids are okay. Do I need to call my kids? I've got to do this, I've got to do that. I'll make sure my kids are okay. My kids are calling. I can't turn my phone off and enjoy myself, because what if my kids need me? What if there's an emergency? I might have to go back. You don't actually enjoy time out. You don't enjoy date nights. You don't enjoy this. You don't enjoy going out with your friends. And even when your kids are at school, the only thing that goes off in your head is, I've got to keep an eye on time, because, I've got to go and pick them up. I've got to make sure that my phone is on and I can hear it just in case school phone me. There are these things that go off in your head all day long. Even if you meet up with your friends and you go out for coffee or, you know, you go shopping with family members, or you do things, you know, for you. You still got this in your head going, oh, I've got to keep an eye on time, I've got to make sure I'm back in time for, you know, for school pickup, or, you know, there's this going on, there's that's going on, or I've got to make sure I'm this, that, or what if the school call, I can't go too far just in case I've got to be back. It is in there. It's constant. This fear that something could happen to your child and you won't be there quick enough to help them. Parents don't live their best life until they're 18. And that is only if you have a neurotypical child. If you have a SEN child, you never stop being a parent. I mean, my son's 21 and ASD. But because of his ASD and where he sits on the spectrum, my life is still belonging to him. Every time I meet my partner, every time I do anything, we want to get a couple of nights away. But I have to find a way to get him somewhere where he'll be safe. So I've got to arrange a sitter for him because he hates being on his own. I can't leave him alone in the house. He's 21, nearly 22, but I can't leave him alone. I want to get a night away, even one night away with my partner. I can't leave him alone. He's nearly 22, but I can't leave him alone because he'd panic and he'd freak out and he'd get paranoid and he'd be a mess. I'd get home to him being a gibbering wreck in the corner and I won't be able to leave him for months, ever, you know. And I'll never be able to leave him again, you know. I need to find someone who will take him, and there's only one person that I can trust to take him. So I need to organise it and sort it out properly so that he can go there and be safe and be happy and be looked after and taken care of. It is this concept that to get one night away with my partner, I have to jump through hundreds of hoops, you know, because he's a SEN child. Because he's special needs. And he's an adult now. You know, parents, mothers need to stop this stigmatisation that if you're childless by choice, you are awful mother. You're an awful mother. You're an awful woman. How dare you not want children? Children are the best thing ever. They'll make your life fulfilled. No, they won't. Children do not fulfill your life. Children hinder your life. They stop you from actually fulfilling your life. Children do one thing. They change everything. They hinder everything. They hinder your life. They stop you from actually living. Because everything you do until they reach adulthood belongs to them. It's that simple. Your life ends the minute you become a parent. The minute a woman becomes a mother, her life is over. Her life is actually over. And do you know what really funny? No father would, no mother would ever turn around to a father and stop them from doing anything they wanted, because it's, you know, they'd never ever turn around to a man and say, oh, well, you don't have any children. How dare you not have children? How dare you choose not to have children? Because, you know, children are the greatest gifts. They'd never turn around to a man and say that. And if a man said, I don't want children, they'd say, that's understandable. Children are really expensive. They're hard work. They're this, they're that. And they'd list off all the things that children are. But the minute a woman says it, oh, you'll be unfulfilled. Children are the greatest gift. Children are this. How incredible children are. No. Children are the end of your life for at least 18 years. At least 18 years. But if you have a SEN child, your whole life is over because your life belongs to them. But no one penalises men for not wanting children. They just penalise women. And it's got to stop. It actually does have to stop. This penalisation of women for choosing to be childless. Because women who choose to be childless have made the best decision they could ever make, because they are choosing to keep their life, to have the life that they want, to live their best life. And even if they have mental health issues, have financial issues, or have any other issues that they've got going on in their life, they're still living their best life. Because if you have children, your life is over. So one thing that nobody talks about, nobody sits there and goes, says ever, but it's a fact. Children are a gift. They are. Children are hard work. Yes, they are. Children are a financial burden. Yes, they can be. But what they are is they are life affirming. They're life giving. They take your life away. Because everything you do as a parent belongs to them. You give them your life. Quite literally. Everything you do is theirs. Every decision, every thought, everything you have belongs to them. You do not even for 1 second get anything for yourself. Even when they turn into teenagers and you can, leave them by themselves at home, or they can go out with their friends and they can be, independent a lot more. Inside your head, they're still your children. They're still your babies. And the only thing that's going on in here is, I hope they're okay, And you check the time and you make sure they're okay and you text them. And you're making sure you're home when they're supposed to be home, so that you're home before them, because you don't want them to come home to an empty house, if humanly possible. You don't like the fact that if they have to be latchkey kids, that you want to get home as quickly as possible, because you hate the fact that they have to be home. There is this thing in your head constantly making sure that they're okay, checking on them, being there for them, even though they're getting older. You don't actually stop worrying and caring about them or thinking about them, making sure that they're okay and worrying about them constantly. Until they get to about 18, when the worry's always there, but you've got this thing in your head going, they're adults. I can worry about you and I can think about you and I can care about you and I can, check up on you, but it's not a big deal because you're an adult now. Now you're an adult, I don't have to worry so hard. You're an adult. And there's this, it's almost like a thing in your head that goes, you're an adult. It's okay. I can actually do what I want because you're 18 now. That's good. That's good. And it changes and shifts the way you think about them. And it could take a couple of years for you to really kind of get into this concept that you can have a life. But you do get there. Especially once they hit 20 and they're like living their life and they're off and they're doing and they've got a job and they're in uni and they're doing their thing, and you're sort of sitting there going, they're okay. They don't need me so much anymore. I can actually live my life. It's mine again. It's for me. And it takes you a while to get used to the fact that your life is back. But if you have a SEN child, a special needs child, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't. Like I said, my son's nearly 22. And me and my partner, we want to spend a whole night together, just one night. And to do that, I'm going to have to jump through 100 hoops to try and organise for my son to spend a night away with someone he trusts. Because they've got their life to lead. Because, the people that he trusts to spend, that we can trust, friends of our family, the only people that I know that he trusts enough to spend a night with, that I know that he'll be okay with, they've got their whole life. They've got things that they do, whole life ahead of them. They've got things, they've got children, they've got other things. I can't just assume they'll take him. I have to organise and jump for 100 hoops. just to get one night away with my partner. It's this concept that my life isn't mine. It belongs to him. And as much as I love him, and as much as I would never change the fact that he's here, it's not my best life. It's not my favourite life. It's not the life I would have chosen if things had been different. I wouldn't have gone back and gone, oh yeah, I never want to have kids. This is yeah, it happened. I'm happy it happened. I'm not going to have any more because, quite frankly, this is enough. I'm not going to do it again. Not ever in a million years will I do this again. I don't want any more children. I will never have another child. Not ever, not in a million years will I have another child. And the good thing is, because of my illness, I can't have another child. Because if I ever got pregnant again, it could kill me. Yay! Which is actually really good for me. Because now I don't ever have to worry about having another child. But my life isn't mine. Is being a mother a gift? Yes. Do I love my son? Absolutely. Would I ever do anything to change what's happened in my life? No. Because everything that's happened has led me to here. I'm a better person than I was 20 years ago. I'm a stronger person than I was 20 years ago, because if I didn't have a son child, I never would have become as strong as I am. You know, I've had to deal with a lot. But we should never, ever, as anybody, nobody should be having a go and stigmatising this concept. There should never be this stigma in society that women who choose to be childless are evil or have some kind of, they're wrong in some way. You know, because there should never be this concept that everybody wants children. No, they don't. And absolutely, it should be normalised that if you are childless by choice, or if you are childless at all, it's a good thing. We should normalise the concept that if you are childless by choice, you are making a really good decision. Because all you're doing is choosing to live your best life. Because you're choosing to actually live your life your way, not give it up for somebody else. Because you understand that within yourself, you can't be that selfless. You know, there are women in this world that cannot be that selfless. I mean, now, I love my mother dearly. She had six of us. There are 6 of us. I have 5 sisters. But all 5 of us understand that my mother was not that selfless. She does not have the greatest maternal instinct. She has a small amount of maternal instinct, but it's not the highest amount of maternal instinct. It is there, on and off, on the odd occasion. We love her dearly, but she was not the most maternal person. She had 6 children. How on earth she managed to have 6 children? But I mean, the greatest thing she ever did was not leave. She threatened to for 25 years. She spent 25 years threatening to leave us. She never did. You know, it's the greatest thing she ever did for us. You know. But me and my elder sister raised our little ones, raised the girls. You know, Mum had a lot of issues raising us. Me and my elder sister spent a lot of years raising the girls. You know, we were pretty much the ones that raised them on and off. Yeah. Mum was not the most maternal person. She just isn't. As much as we all love her in our own way. You know, she had 6 of us. We do not understand why. We were kind of glad when, you know, she kind of stopped having children. Because, you know, we don't get why she kept having them. Because the best thing she ever did was, like, not leave. You know, despite the threats, the constant threats. I'm leaving and I'm moving to Scotland. Okay. It's like, it was the biggest threat for 25 years. she spent 25 years going, I'm moving to Scotland, I'm leaving. Okay, Mum. She never did. And now she's moved to Scotland, so. Well, she's moved to the border of Scotland anyway. She's not quite made it to Scotland. She's made to the border of Scotland, where two of my sisters are. But two of my sisters are living on the border of Scotland and she's up there with them. So she's almost made it to Scotland, and she's happy. So that's all that really matters. So she's up with two of my sisters up on the border of Scotland. So she's very happy. But yeah, it's this concept that if you know for full well that you are not that selfless, that you as a human being, you as a woman, are not capable of giving your life to somebody else for at least 18 years and to handing it over to another human being who will just trample all over your life. And that's what they do. Children will trample all over everything you do. They trample all over your life. They take it over, they just destroy it and just trample all over it, jump up and down all over it, destroy everything that you have. And if you as a woman know that you will not survive that, the best thing you can ever do is not have any. And it should be normalised that that is a good thing, because that way you know, society should understand that not every woman in the world has a maternal instinct. And even if you have an instinct and you can be there for your nieces and your nephews and your grandbaby, your nieces and your nephews and your cousins, just because you can watch over them every once in a while does not make you maternal. It just means that you don't mind babysitting every once in a while, and you enjoy the child phase, you enjoy looking after them. Doesn't make you a maternal person. It just means that you enjoy looking after other people's. It's okay to look after you every once in a while, but I can give you back at the end. Have your life back. Phew. It's not selfish. It's this concept of understanding your own person. You can say, I know that I have the ability to look after my own nieces, my own nephews, my own cousins on the odd occasion, let them into my life and look after them. But I am not capable of handing my life over to someone for it to be trampled on and broken and destroyed for 18 years. And what if you end up a sin child? My life's over. No, I do not have that capacity. As a woman, I do not have that capacity. And society should normalise letting that happen and congratulating these women for having the sense of who they are, to understand what parenthood really is. Because parenthood is the destruction of your own life, handing it over to be destroyed and trampled on for somebody else so that they can have a life. So we should normalise that being childless by choice is an amazing thing, because they are women who are strong enough to understand that they are too selfish to be mothers. And that is a great thing. It's an amazing thing, because not every woman is destined to be able to do what mothers can. And that is what society should be normalising. It's okay to be childless by choice, because having children is exceptionally difficult, and not every woman is capable of it. And I've been going around in circles, so I'm going to go.